Oh, hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome to Screen Rant. I'm your host, Greg Elliott, and guess who's back? Back again. Obi-Wan's back. Tell a friend. Yeah, that's right. Joining other Star Wars shows like The Mandalorian and the Rogue One spin-off, Old Ben will soon be coming to the small screen via Disney's new streaming service, Disney+. Details are still coming in, but based off what we know so far, let's talk about when we think the Obi-Wan series is set and what that reveals about the story. We do know that the new series will take place after the prequels but before the original trilogy. We don't know an exact date, but it's definitely within those 18 years or so during Obi-Wan's self-imposed exile on Tatooine. Which leads us to the big question. What exactly was he up to between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and what kind of stuff can we expect or hope to see in the new show? Thanks to the 2016 novel Ahsoka, written by E.K. Johnston, we know that in the early days of his exile, Obi-Wan spent a lot of time meditating and learning how to communicate with the Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. Luke's Uncle Owen forbade Obi-Wan from interacting with young Luke, but we also know, thanks to Marvel's Star Wars number 7 from 2015, that Obi-Wan kept a series of journals that he would hopefully and eventually give to Luke as part of his training. So, what's in those journals? In those comics, Obi-Wan describes in his journals his struggles during the Great Drought with Jabba the Hutt, who was at the time extorting citizens with a made-up water tax, and Obi-Wan helps the people fight back. But thinking it was Uncle Owen who messed up his tax collection, Jabba sends the Wookiee bounty hunter, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Black Krrsantan after him, which of course leads Obi-Wan to defend Owen, and in doing so he actually lights up his lightsaber for the first time in years, which I must admit would be pretty cool to see on screen. And you know who else we might get to see on screen? Maul. Yep, although he doesn't appear in the comics, in a Season 3 episode of Star Wars Rebels, which is set 2 years before A New Hope, Maul goes to Tatooine to get revenge on Kenobi. But knowing Maul had to die to keep Luke safe, Obi-Wan cuts him down and Maul dies in his arms. We already know from Solo: A Star Wars Story that Maul did resurface as the leader of the Crimson Dawn crime syndicate 10 years before A New Hope, so maybe there's a decent chance that the Obi-Wan show will explore their relationship some more leading up to the events of that Rebels episode. But 18 years is still quite a bit of time to cover that hasn't been explored on screen before, and you know Obi-Wan wasn't just a hermit the entire time. So what else could there be? Well, thanks to the comics, we have little glimpses of what happened and what could happen on the show. We imagine that we'll get to see Obi-Wan attempt to connect with young Luke and get shut down by Uncle Owen, and of course, him debating whether or not to get involved in other events on Tatooine, like that water crisis I mentioned earlier. While it's kind of been assumed that Kenobi spent all of his time in exile on Tatooine, the hermit life seems kind of boring and there's nothing to say he couldn't ever go off-world to have some minor adventures. The events of Solo and Obi-Wan's journals appear to take place around the same time, so maybe his dealings with Jabba's mob somehow get him involved with Crimson Dawn, leading up to more stuff with Maul. And don't forget, they can always go back in time too. Disney loves that de-aging tech, and to be honest I do too, so we could easily see snippets of Obi-Wan's younger self via flashbacks, or maybe even get some cool tie-ins to the Star Wars prequels. Whatever they decide to do, it'll be great to see the adventures of not-so-old Ben on screen, and you know we'll keep you in the loop as we learn more about the show. I'm Greg Elliott, and until next time, be mindful of your thoughts.